You're listening to Speaking Stellar Girl with Teri an interview series that inspires women to live their most stellar life. Teri is the co-founder of the Stellar Girl movement, and she is sitting down with women all over the world to hear about the key moments in their lives and how they live boldly, compassionately, and ultimately became a stellar girl.
Welcome to Speaking Stellar Girl. I'm your host, Teri, and I'm thrilled today to have Brittany Lo joining me. Brittany is the CEO and founder of Beautini, the New York City-based bridal beauty experience. Has been featured in People magazine, in New York Times, The Knot, just to name a few. Brittany and her team of 80 stylists have empowered thousands of brides through self-confident, skyrocketing makeovers on their big, big day. She also launched Beia, a diverse skincare line of clean beauty and wellness products that's all about self-love without the guilt. So much to cover today. I'm super excited. Welcome, Brittany, to Speaking Stellar Girl.
Thank you, Teri, so much for having me on here. It's a pleasure to learn more about Stellar Girl and you and your story. So I'm really looking forward to our conversation.
Me too. Let's dive into your background briefly before we get into all the new and exciting things that are happening in both of your companies. So you're the CEO and founder of two biggies. But
yes.
It's so awesome. Yeah. So let's talk about Beautini first, because that one was launched in 2015.
Yes, and correct.
It's amazing. And you make the circle of girls feel so like stellar.
Yes, absolutely. And so I actually wrote, I wanted to develop Beautini and a beauty company since the second grade, wrote it in my second grade journal. When I graduated from Babson College in 2014, I had a full-time offer with a big beauty conglomerate that I accepted initially. And then I realized that I thought it was time to just try this entrepreneurial journey before I got comfortable with making a full-on salary and whatnot. And I always thought I'd go into product, but being a college grad with zero work experience and just understanding how much money you would have to put towards marketing to really get your brand out there, I decided to create Beautini, which is a hair and makeup beauty concierge based in Manhattan, where we do hair and makeup services for brides on their wedding days and events, because one, it would allow me to truly understand where the white space was in the beauty market as I develop product. But two, I grew up and always loved to empower women, and I think that's what I love so much about Stellar Girl is that's your entire mission. I think you said you want women to leave a little shimmer wherever they go.
Yes.
And that's something that has always been very important for me. And so I wanted to find a complement with combining my passion for beauty and me wanting to empower women. And Beautini was that perfect blend because we were working with them in person. And so it's all about, yes, of course, making them look their best selves, but really in the process, that's when they also felt like their best selves as well.
Yes, where they're shining from within, and then you just enhance it by creating this experience through the hair and beauty, and you do the whole bridal party, right?
Yep. So we do the bride, we do the bridal party, moms, aunts, relatives, anyone who is a part of the bride or groom's special day.
Isn't that amazing that you're a part of so many women's special day of their lives? Like most women, a lot of women grew up and go, oh my gosh, my wedding, yes. Right? I mean, think of all of the lives you've touched around the state. I mean, do you get to other locations, or are you basically just New York based?
So we do a lot in the Hamptons, then we'll go mostly Northeast, but we've traveled to Europe. We've gone throughout the country. So we will travel destination, not so much right now during COVID. But it is a huge honor that women and men have trusted us with arguably the biggest day of their life, and for us to be a part of it. I'm one of those girls who's always dreamed about my wedding, so I'm obsessed learning more about the wedding details and how their planning's going. And honestly, because it's a wedding day, there's a ton of emotions that come into play as well. So it's not like a typical hair and makeup application. You really understand their insecurities or their stresses, the family dynamics, and there's just a lot of layers that we learn about our clients, which makes it a very special relationship.
Well, we talk about all the time about how, you're creating we create these companies and then we don't talk about our accomplishments. Beauty is extremely accomplished. It's award winning. Let's talk about that. You've been featured in Bride, The Knot, People Mag, New York Times. Like I could go on and on and on. So congratulations for that, because that's something to be super proud of. And it's amazing that, and you took the leap, and right after college, you created what you wanted to do and you went and dived right in. So let's talk about Beia, because I love its mission. I'm going to read it. To empower women everywhere to feel their best, look their best, and dominate the world 24/7.
Yes.
So let's go there. Let's talk about, because that's new. We're talking, 2021, you launched Beia.
Yes, we launched in June 2021. So we're very new. And that's always been my ultimate dream, was a product line. But like I said, I learned from Beautini, got to speak to thousands of women very intimately to see where the white space was in the very saturated beauty industry. Mm-hmm. And so I realized that a lot of women find beauty to be overwhelming, intimidating, especially if your mother never taught you how to do makeup as a little girl. Like, where do you go? Now, Thankfully, we have YouTube and more resources. But when you go into Sephora, like even myself, sometimes I'm like, wait, what does that product do? Like, what is that? And so if I'm confused, like an everyday consumer is very confused. And that became very apparent in my conversations with our clients. Additionally, what I found interesting is that they would expose very intimate details about the relationship and just life in general.
Okay.
And so having a lot of conversations with women as I was developing, arguably I was thinking more of like a skincare line. I realized there's a lot of intimate concerns that women, like razor burn or blemishes on their butt, or, like intimacy. Mm-hmm. There's things that people don't like to talk about, similar to not liking to talk about your salary or money as women. There were problems that women are experiencing but don't like to talk about. Mm-hmm. And that's where I wanted my mission is like, yes, we started with a daily hydrating and setting mist, which was very important. I wanted people to see the quality of our ingredients, and it's all about taking time for that me moment throughout the day. But as we develop future products, the overall mission for Beia is to lean into those skincare concerns, like I said, blemishes on your breasts or butt, and create these skincare products that solve those problems and lean into more of like the sexual wellness category, because there isn't really a sophisticated option right now that you can be proud displaying on your nightstand versus feeling shameful or guilty and
dirty
dirty and like going to a sex shop and getting it. Yet we spend hundreds on putting great ingredients on our face, but now we're putting things in our body or on intimate parts of our body, and the quality is just not there.
No, it's full of toxins and preservatives and shelf lives that are forever in these shops. And we're sexual creatures by nature, and women don't talk about that. It's cool for a dude to talk about it, but not for women. And we, as you say, we got to fix that and break that taboo, shatter it, and talk about it.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be in a raunchy way. It doesn't have to be. Like, it can be in a very subtle, sophisticated way. It can be classy. Like, I'm not someone who exposes my sex life to anyone who will listen, but I think that it's important where if it, that you can talk about it and you can be excited about your date last night without feeling shameful or feeling like a slut, whatever it might be that society tagged in association with sexuality. So I think it's a really fun direction that I'm looking forward to bring Beia. And I think it's also very important too.
So when are these new products coming out?
So we have 2 products coming out Q1 of next year, hopefully before Valentine's Day.
Okay.
And then the next 2 will be scheduled for beginning of Q3.
Fantastic. So we will tag all of your website and your Instagram and everything, so everyone can follow and find and purchase and experience and talk about it. You know, you want
Yes.
you want your consumers to share.
Yes.
And that's what we want to do here at Stellar Girl too. We want to share our accomplishments. We want to share our wins instead of talking about, you mentioned also that, we are drawn to each other when we have low moments, when we can sympathize with, what's going on in our life that's not exciting and happy, where we can, and those places are very important as well. There's space for those places. It's important to be able to talk about mental health. It's important to be able to talk about the ups and downs of life. But what about the aha moments? What about the stellar moments? What about the accomplishments? Like, heck yeah.
Yes. And even like think about the next time, anyone who's listening, like the next time someone compliments you, I think that myself included, a lot of women do say, oh, I got it on sale last year. Like, oh, this is so old, like, whatever. Like, that's usually a response. But I would challenge you to take a moment and just say, thank you so much. Or I love this dress too. Say something that reconfirms that compliment, where you're also building yourself up versus you feel ashamed or weird about accepting a compliment. And by doing those little tweaks throughout the day, I think that creates you to be a true stellar girl and to embrace that confidence and lift each other up. There's no reason that you have to tear yourself down or tear anyone around you down. Everyone can lift each other up.
Yeah, I say that all the time, that there's room for everybody. We don't need to compete or compare. There's room for all of us to succeed in our own way.
100%.
And I just think your mission is incredible. And I love that you really talk about it, because, we were talking before, before I hit record, and we were saying like how men can say, oh yeah, like I'm awesome. This is awesome. I had this awesome game. I had this hot date.
So much money.
The money issue is so like touchy with women. We don't talk about it. We don't celebrate it. Right. I know I have this one girlfriend, and she's like, I'm making life-changing money today. And I'm like, that is awesome.
That's great.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think we need a lot more of that, instead of like shielding our accomplishments, like exposing them, talking about them, and then join together and celebrate them and celebrate them, and feel happy about it, instead of feeling, that's not humble, to say that I, landed this killer job.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you've accomplished so much in your life. And I think we celebrate you at Stellar Girl. So let's talk about what brings you joy. I love this question.
I love that. So I get a ton of joy being with my family, being with my boyfriend and friends, like being around people who I think uplift me, and, we challenge each other, and you can just sit down and have a laugh no matter what's going on. Like, that's amazing. But the little joys in my life are like coming home after a long day at work and either just like lighting a candle and watching some Law and Order and just like vegging out and just loving everything that Olivia Benson does in that show.
I love that.
On Sundays, like I love going grocery shopping and cooking and kind of figuring out like what I want to eat. Because when I feel my best, like that's when like I do beam of confidence. And yeah, like I think just celebrating the little wins are really important and bring me a lot of joy, whether it's my own accomplishments, friends' accomplishments, or just spending quality time. Like quality time is one of my love languages. So being able to spend quality time with people who are really important to me means everything and brings me a lot of joy.
That's awesome. I saw that you do Soul Cycle.
Yes, I do lots
or
of
a form of that. Is it Soul Cycle?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. No, 100% Soul Cycle.
you're all in.
Yep.
You're all in. So obviously you like to work out, you like to move your body. That's your jam. I have a Peloton tread that kind of turned into my life. And on those on-demand things, it's not just the treadmill. You get to do other classes. So do you do anything else? Do you like yoga, walks, Pilates, or is Soul Cycle, you're like, this is me?
So I do Soul Cycle. I'll do berries, which is like the HIIT trainings.
Yeah, boot camp.
Running, some of the floor work, like a boot camp. Yep. And then I'll do SLT in the city, which is on the Mega Reformer. So it allows you to like move your body and really focus on your core. I am not a huge runner, but I do at times, like especially during the spring and summer, I love walking throughout the city
Oh yeah,
and
nothing
just
like
get
it.
fresh air. Like if I can't work out, like my goal is usually like work out 5 times a week. But I never make it a chore. Like I want to do it because it centers me. I love it so much. Also brings me a ton of joy. But if I don't feel like working out, just even walking the block and looking at the pretty buildings or the new restaurants that have opened up is a great way to get some exercise in.
Yes, movement is my medicine. And it doesn't have to be, hardcore. It can just be, like you said, a half-hour walk, a 20-minute walk at night, just to get moving. And I feel that, we all need to do more of that. I get sitting on my computer and getting into my emails and editing and then, posting and you just feel like you're just sitting all the time instead of getting outside and getting that fresh air. So what about sights? Because we at Stellar Girl talk about, strong body. We talk about shining from within, which you are obviously all about, movement and being healthy. What about sights? Where do you like to travel to? Where's your go-to?
Oh, so I actually just came back from Italy 2 weeks ago and I go again this weekend. So this year I'd say is Italy.
So I saw that you were in Capri.
Yes, in Capri, Positano, like all along the Amalfi Coast. And then I have a wedding conference in Lake Como starting Sunday. So I'll be there
on my list, Lake Como.
It's amazing. I love pizza. So I'd say that Italy this year has been my go-to. But another one is, so I live in New York City. So I love going to Florida, ideally Miami, Palm Beach, anywhere down there. Like I think just soaking up some sunshine whenever I need that little break from the city has always been like the perfect dose of medicine for me.
That is awesome. So Italy it is.
Yes.
Yes. Got to get out there. Well, I'll just pack my 4 kids in somewhere and
yes, and honestly anywhere, because even during the pandemic when you couldn't travel, my parents live about an hour and a half north of the city. Mm-hmm. So I'd go up there and enjoy just, the nature. I went to Hudson, New York. There was a bunch of little towns that were beautiful.
Yeah.
So I think that traveling doesn't have to mean that you have to take a plane to get there. You can get into a car or hop on a train and just see something new.
I always say that too. And like the Stellar Girl Sites mindset is having like a mini getaway, an adventure in your own backyard, getting on in a car with a couple of girls, going to a concert 2 hours away, just going, like we live near Door County, going up to Door County is an hour away. You see the lake, you're on the water. It doesn't have to be, a $10,000 trip to Europe.
No,
it can just be these little mini things that you get to look forward to and also expand what you see out of your own hometown. And I think that's really important to grow and learn as a human and to see what's out there. And I find so much support and inspiration when I get to see the rest of the world for sure.
Yes, so. It broadens your perspective.
Yes, 100%. So we covered quite a bit about, your, both of your companies and I love your missions and what we, getting rid of the taboo of indulging in oneself. And I think that is something that, we'll all continue to talk about. But, we also speak about women talking, about our problems from within and without celebrating our accomplishments. And that is truly what a Stellar Girl is. And also celebrating other women like yourself, like all these incredible women I've had to speak with on this podcast. But how can you, Brittany, celebrate other women better? How can we do a better job at doing that?
I think that my ballet teacher when I was really young said that by you complimenting another woman or another dancer doesn't take away from how talented you are or how beautiful you are. And I think that really stuck with me at a very young age. I think it's important. It's not about going to these extreme lengths to do something, but it's how can you incorporate it into your daily routine? So if you see someone at a wedding you go to and has a beautiful dress, like go up to her and be like, you look beautiful today. Or if you see someone on the street and you, it looks like she just got her hair done, say like you love her hair or whatever it might be. And I find that even with networking, like complimenting someone from a surface level doesn't mean that you only care about their hair or their coat, but it allows you to like pick them up in a very quick way, and then allows for conversations to go deeper from there. But everyone likes to feel good, and not everyone always hears that on a daily basis or even on a weekly basis. So it's like, how can you better someone's life in like simple ways and incorporate that into your daily routine?
That's awesome. Well, you have shown us and spoke so much about what the Stellar Girl mindset is about. And I so appreciate you joining us on Speaking Stellar Girl. This was an awesome half hour of my time and hopefully all of our listeners' time. And we will see you on the other side. Thank you so much, Brittany, for joining me. And we will make sure that Beautini and Beia get so much love and so much support from all of us throughout. So thank you so much. We'll see you on the other side.
Thank you so much, Teri.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that bell icon to be notified of new episodes. To learn more about the Stellar Girl movement, please visit us at stellargirl.com.